Straight with you today, man. Where your energy at?
Yeah.
Namaste, Thug. Professor Q. We coming back for the third session, the third episode of through having conversations. The topic is going to be how to become your own hero. That's the first topic. So, Professor Q, introduce the people, let them know exactly a little bit about yourself because we had somebody say last week, like, who is this dude? So, we want people to know who is Quincy Jones.
Hey everybody. Like I say, I'm Quincy Jones, 49 years old. I'm a native of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And basically I am somebody that's seeking to become a better person, a better being spiritually. And I'm inviting y'all to take this journey with me.
Mm.
So here I am.
So, with that being said, I'm doing technical stuff behind the scenes, or actually on the scenes. Um, the main thing behind this is focused around mental health. This is what started. This is what triggered the us having the podcast. Cause we have all these deep conversations on our own. We have all these deep conversations on our own, but when people are around, we're not quite having the same conversation. So we want to actually change that. That is super live. We want to definitely change that and let other people see, like a little kid trying to see. I want to see.
Okay.
We
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 need to
want to
meditate.
we want to be able to let you know that you're not alone, and let you know that also too you have to put the work in. It's going to be uncomfortable, but you got to be able to become your own hero or your own savior and learn how to save yourself. And one of the key topics we was thinking about was how long do we stay? How long do you stay in an emotional response?
Now that's a good topic because I think we all deal with that situation where we might be in a situation where, just say we become upset or angry or pissed the hell off. What do? Are you just gonna stay pissed off? Are you gonna walk around all day long in this messed up, funky ass mood? For what? I mean, is it benefiting you? Is it benefiting anybody else? And that's something that we all go through. So we need to kind of be aware. There's no kind of about it. We need to be aware of what type of emotional state we're in
Mm-hmm.
and how do we recover and heal from that and move forward.
What are some tools? Because it's easier said than done. What are some tools that when you're in the heat of the moment, you thinking about shot, knock this nigga out and stomp until his gray meat out, his brains come loose, or shot just kind of breathe it off and just kind of just don't let it affect me the way it affect me. You got any tools for that?
Well, I mean, you really first just kind of, you hit the nail in the coffin. First, you got to breathe. You breathe through this situation.
Mm-hmm.
How do I want to handle this?
Mm-hmm.
What should I do? All of these thoughts are going through my head when situations happen like
Mm-hmm.
that. But the main thing is being aware of what's going on, being aware of how you feeling. Because once you're aware of how you feeling, then you know how to deal with this situation. Like we like to say, heal
Mm-hmm.
with this situation. And
Mm.
basically, what we do, we're healing through it. So again, I think first and foremost, we breathe through it. You see a situation going on, you getting upset. Pause. If you got to walk away, if you just got to be quiet and find you some place of solitude, just sit back and chill for a minute, recognize what's going on, and start breathing, which we
Mm-hmm.
also do need to do meditation.
Oh, thank you, brother. Every time we want to start a part, we get better and better. Cause before, like 25 minutes in, we only
Yeah.
like 5 minutes in. We want to take a meditation break. That we just take 2 minutes to sit in silence and just observe how many different ways your thoughts try to come and go, and just focus on your breathing. We want to breathe inhale and want to breathe or exhale out through our nostrils. And if you find our mind wandering, you can either count to it, count backwards, 3, 2, 1, 0. It's not natural. Helps you become present. You want to sit up nice and straight. Look at the time. Ready? Again. Just focus on your breathing. Be the breath. Feel the breath as it fills up every crevice of your chest, belly button. As you exhale, you want to pull that belly button all the way in. Like trying to pull it through the spine. And every time I exhale, I want to feel some part of my body just relax, just release, just let go. As I inhale, nice and smooth, not too aggressive. Making sure that oxygen goes to my brain. Get all that metabolized material out of there. As I exhale any kind of low vibration thoughts or anything that's not mine. Let it reproduce, let it transcend. Let it just be. Got 30 seconds. Hmm. Look at your toes. Stretch out, move your shoulders a little bit. Come on back to your body. Yeah. When you feel ready to open your eyes. Hmm. And meditation for me is so important because it gives us a chance to kind of calm down, lower our heart rate, and it gives us time to respond and not just react. I will learn how to respond to a situation and not react to a situation. Like a reaction is you go to a doctor, get that funny bone
Right,
to
right,
react.
right.
I don't want to react. I want to be able to sit back and respond. You gave me a beautiful example of how you was at work one day, and a fellow coworker was in a rush, and he didn't see you kind of in the corner, and he jumped off his pallet jack, and it hit your pallet, and how you kind of got in a some type of in a funk, in like a rage when that happened. You want to kind of talk us through that?
Oh yeah. I was at work one night. It was a couple of weeks ago, and I'm loading. So as I'm preparing to load my trucks, I got everything staged up where it's supposed to be at, nice and neat. This selector comes by on a pallet jack. He hops off the pallet jack and goes to get on another one. But as he hops off the pallet jack, it just keeps rolling and it runs right into the pallets that I got staged getting ready to load. So he
Mm-hmm.
don't see me standing there looking at him. I'm looking at him and he turned around and he looked at me. He looked at the pallet. He hopped on the other pallet jack and proceeded to go off and finish working and do whatever the hell he was doing. So me, I'm totally feeling disrespected now. Like this
Mm.
fool did not just come and just mess up the pallets that I got staged over here. So now I'm pissed. I immediately go from 0 to 1,000. I go and find him. I call his name. Look, man, bring your ass out here and fix my shit.
Mm-hmm.
He comes out there. He looked at my stuff. He was like, "Oh, this what you crying about? No, you about to cry right now." And that was it.
Mm-hmm.
And my supervisor came and said, "Quincy, go outside, take 10, 15 minutes, man. Just calm down." Now, when I came to Ruben and I told him about it, I recognized myself at that time
Hold on,
that
pause for a second. Go back to where you was in the car. How did you calm yourself down? Cause one did you just didn't go to the car. When you were in the car, what did you do? Cause that's what's important. Cause sometimes you just sit in the car, think you're gonna cool down. That's not what it is.
no, I mean,
So walk us through that.
once I got in the car, that's when I started practicing on my breathing.
Mm-hmm.
And I started breathing in and out in a meditation type format. And the more I breathed, the more I thought about, what was going on, how I got upset, how I should not have. It's just I started recognizing the thoughts that I was having.
Mm-hmm.
I started accepting what I was going through, and then the more I breathed and the more I thought on the situation and recognized my thoughts, looked at them, and I let it pass through.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I did it, the more I breathed, the more I analyzed my situation. I just calmed myself down. I found myself relaxing, and it was over.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, if I was not aware of the situation and what was going on, and had some type of process on how to fix this
Mm-hmm.
or how to heal through it,
Mm-hmm.
there's no telling what I would have done or how that situation would have ended up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad I did have the foreknowledge to practice what was taught to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, it helped. It helped a
Mm-hmm.
1000%. So I'm grateful for it. I'm blessed for it, and I'm able to continue to move on my life in a better way now by being aware of paying attention to my thoughts, paying attention to how I'm feeling, paying attention to what type of emotions I'm going through, paying attention to what triggers me. So that's something that we need to be constantly mindful of.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm glad you used that word mindful because I'm looking at the simplicity of mindful, meaning I am mindful, like my mind is full. So
Mm,
if my mind is full, it's always moving, and one little thing come, it's gonna bust it open. So I want to work on being my mind free. So my mind
okay.
is free. I'm able to be aware. I'm just something that came to me. Like when I'm mind free, like my mind is free, not so easy for me to be aware. But if I'm mind full, I'm already full in my mind, so now it's hard for me to be aware because I got so much stuff in my mind that's full right now. But
Mm.
if I'm mind free, like I want to be mind free, so now it's easy for me to be aware for me. You follow what I'm
No,
saying?
I get it.
Yeah.
And it's good that you said that
Mm-hmm.
because we are not our thoughts.
Who
And
are we then?
we're spiritual beings.
Oh, wow.
But we
Okay.
can let our thoughts overtake us. Our
Mm-hmm.
thoughts can consume us. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we can actually become our thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So again, it's about being conscious, it's about being aware and awake.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
again, it's one of those things that we should be mind free of.
Mind free of, no doubt. And wrapping it up with we're talking about once again. This is I don't get it. Okay, Nikki Francis, mindfulness. Okay, let's pause for a second because it's good. So just look at the word mindful. I know they look at it because every coin has two sides. So if my mind is full, I don't have no room to be aware for me. That brings overwhelming thoughts, anxiety, whatever it may be.
Mm.
But if I'm mind free, meaning my mind is a lot more free, a lot more open, it's a lot more available to feel the subtle signs instead of my mind being full. It is me playing on words. I hope you get that. That's Nikki Francis. I ain't even to put you out there like that. Yeah. So just let it soak in for a second. Um, Okay, and like you say, man, any feedback, any comments y'all have, please type in the comment box and we'll get to them because that's a very good thing. Because mindfulness is, in my mind, a trap because my mind is full. I hear you. Okay, just think about it. Just think about it.
But then we also want to get to a point where we're responding to a situation and not reacting to
Mm-hmm.
it. Because if you respond to it, then you're healing with a situation.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Mm-hmm.
going through the process.
Mm-hmm.
Reacting is almost
Mm-hmm.
like, what did you say? Like a doctor when he
Hit
get the
that
little
funny
tool and,
bone.
and he hits you on your knee.
Mm-hmm.
And involuntary is an involuntary action. So we don't want to we don't want to react to
Mm-hmm.
situations
Mm-hmm.
involuntarily. We actually want to respond to it. So we want to accept what's going on, analyze it, and then we go through the process of healing with it.
Right. Just going back to Nikki, she says the nest regates the full, no doubt. I'm looking at on an atomic level, very very simple, and I'm probably being very petty, but I've been looking at when my mind is full. If I'm telling my super subconscious mind my mind is full, it's gonna believe it's full. But if I say my mind is free, mind freeness, I'm telling my super sub and my super subconscious that my mind is free from because this is coming from a very conscious level. So I understand that mindfulness means mind free. I definitely get that too. But I'm looking at this my perspective. When I'm saying I'm mind free, that's a conscious effort. We need to reprogram our subconscious mind. So I'm going
Mm-hmm.
down. What you're saying, mindfulness, that's very comfortable for the conscious level. I'm talking about the subconscious level where all of the trauma and all of the monkey, not monkey, the monkey brain, meaning unnecessary movement come from unnecessary emotions at that particular time. Not saying emotions aren't necessary, but they're not necessary all the time.
All right.
So the question was how long do we stay in emotional response? If emotional response is fear, if it's neglect, if it's lack, even if we can be too joyful for too long, because we start
Mm.
laughing so much, after a while we'll start crying. The jaws go hurting.
Right.
So
Right.
we want to be aware. We want to be aware of how long are we in an emotional response. Because if we stay in a lower vibration response like fear or lack of like oh shit somebody get me, I'm releasing cortisone. Cortisone is what helps me run, fight, or freeze. I don't want to be in
Mm-hmm.
that phase. I want to be in survival phase. I don't want to be in survival phase. I want to be in living phase.
Mm-hmm.
So as I'm living, I'm breathing. So now as the situation comes to me, I'm able to not react to it, but respond to it by breathing and recognize what's truly going on without my feelings. I'm being aware. I'm not in my feelings. I'm in my awareness. Because I'm being aware of my feelings, but my last authority is my awareness, not my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm making from an awareness standpoint. I'm like, okay, I get this. I can release it. It's coming up from an old story or old trauma. So as it's being released, I can release that, the emotion and the feeling, and the story that goes with it. So now once I release the story that goes with it, whenever something similar on an energetic level comes up with that type of transition with me, I was saying my emotional response so long because I'm releasing the story that had me tied to that emotional response. That's
Right.
gonna drag me down to a lower vibration where I don't want to be at. Make sense?
Make perfect sense.
Okay. Um, and the second thing is, man, like how understanding your story from other episodes, and it seems like to me you became your own hero. So how do you, Mr. Jones, become your own hero? How did you become your own hero?
Mm. How did I become my own
Yeah,
hero?
how did you become your own hero?
Well, one, being a hero is, in a sense, your savior. You're saving yourself. So, how do I do that in certain situations now? Than rather than what I used to do is just reacting to any situation and being just being in a rage or being pissed off or just
Mhm,
wanting to fight.
mhm, mhm,
Um,
mhm,
being conscious and accountable.
mhm,
When we're conscious and we're accountable of our actions,
mhm,
when we're aware of our thoughts and our feelings and our emotions, then, like I said, that opens up a whole new situation where we can sit back and calm ourselves down,
mhm,
look at the situation without any negative feelings about it. And now we go through the blueprint of fixing this situation and coming out on top in a sense. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? We always kind of want to do things in a higher vibration level. So with me doing that now, because I mean nobody's perfect. We all gonna make mistakes. We fallible people, but we always want to try and be in a state where we're in control of our actions, of our emotions, of our mental feelings.
mhm,
Period.
mhm, mhm,
So, as a me being my own hero,
mhm,
it's I'm validating myself where I'm giving myself the authority to deal with this situation or heal with this
mhm,
situation
mhm,
myself. I don't have to go to anyone else to fix me.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
can't worry about the next person or the situation in
Mhm.
itself,
Mhm.
but I can focus on how I'm going to heal through this situation and move forward and still
Mhm.
stay in a high vibration.
Wow, Professor Q. Well, each week you get better and better. We're getting to the point, my brother. That is what's up. I know you're asking how did I become my own hero? It wasn't my fucking choice, people. It wasn't my fucking choice, people. It's like either sink or swim, you know. I became my own hero when I decided that I was no longer going to make myself uncomfortable to make other people comfortable.
Mm,
I'm going to say what I have to say without being long-winded or being defensive or being offensive to other people. But you have to understand where I'm coming from and how I feel. So now, and if someone says something that I don't quite agree with, I did ask them, "Are you being, are you being a Weisenheimer right now?" Like it's a smart person being an ass, you know.
yeah.
So I want to know like how to respond to you. So I'm learning how to respond, not react. You know.
I mean, that's good because even how you said that, it's not, it's never a problem to ask someone
Mhm.
what's their angle.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
if you
Mhm.
feel like someone's coming to you in a way that's offensive to you, or maybe in a way that you feel like, I don't know, this person don't like me. Why is he
Mhm.
doing this? Why is
Mhm.
she doing this? Be be an adult. Step to this
What
person.
what what does being an adult mean? Is it based on your age? What does that What does that
No,
mean? What
no.
does that
Well,
mean?
I'm basically saying is just be mature.
And what does being mature mean? Because you could be mature and think I need to take my 45 and bust me across the head with it. I just ain't gonna kill him, but I'm being mature with it.
No, that's to me. That's
So I'm just saying. So it's not such a wide scope. What does being mature mean to you?
being mature
Mm-hmm.
means being responsible for yourself,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
being responsible and accountable. It all
Mm-hmm.
boils down to that again. Being conscious of who you are and
Mm-hmm.
are you putting yourself
Mm-hmm.
in a situation that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just jump off the cliff and say, you know what, I'm gonna throw caution to the wind, I'm gonna bust this man upside his head, I'm gonna pull my Glock and I'm gonna shoot this. Are you being responsible for
Mm-hmm.
yourself in a positive manner? No, you're not. So that's what I mean by being an adult or being mature is
Mm-hmm.
that you're doing something that is, in a sense, in your best interest and the best interest of others. But we
Mm-hmm.
got to start with self first.
Of course, of course, of course. Going back to Nikki, she said your word mind is full, brain. Your word salads taste great. Thank you guys for understanding that, no doubt. Your word salads.
I like that.
Tastes great, no salad dressing needed. So you touched on a point. We're speaking about being our own hero. And for me, being my own hero is me getting back to my kid self.
Mm,
Me having adventures, me um allow the simple thing in life bring me joy again. You know, me not being so materialistic, but being more spiritualistic. Meaning each day I wake up, I want to come closer and closer to my divine self.
right.
You know, those are goals and aspirations that keeps me engaged. Because for a while, like a couple of weeks ago, like life didn't bring me no type of no like it didn't have no type of spark for me. Because in my mind, I was stuck on too much material stuff. Like, I need to make this much money a month. I need to make this
I
podcast, need
get
to do
it. Yeah,
that, need to
yeah.
do this. When I start focusing on that spirit, it is excitement in life came back for me again. You know, the joy and enthusiasm that I had before it came back because I'm releasing my child from the responsibility and I'm keeping it safe by speaking my piece, by breathing and meditating, by exercising, and just being vulnerable and keeping the heart wide open, man. So me being my own hero is getting back into my heart, getting out my brain, and just allowing the body to do what it does naturally in an organic fashion.
I mean, it's good that you said that too, because sometimes when I think about reverting back to my my child state or my inner child,
Uh-huh.
I think about the simplistic things in life.
Mm-hmm.
I think about sometimes when I wake up in the morning,
What is simplistic?
back to the basics, the least common denominator.
Okay.
You know, when we break everything down, is it that serious to be, oh, I got to have this kind of car, I got to make this type of money, or I need to put on these type of clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I just go outside and I can hear the wind blowing through trees,
Mm-hmm.
and it gives me a feeling of joy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I think about simple things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can go to the park and just sit on the park bench and just watch my surroundings,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm at total peace.
Mm-hmm.
I can
Mm-hmm.
listen to jazz, I can listen to hip hop, I can listen to gospel, I can
Mm-hmm.
listen to country. And in other words, there's no judgment. We
Mm-hmm.
walk around daily in a state of judgment, like if I do this, this person or this group of people are not going to accept me.
You mean self-judging?
In a sense, yeah.
Yeah, that's the main thing, self-judging, because it's our perspective. So we gonna feel a type of way based on us judging ourselves. Go ahead and finish.
And but when we're doing things without judgment,
Without
it
self-judgment.
without self-judgment,
Mm-hmm.
we're free. We're
Mm-hmm.
freeing ourselves up to be our true self,
Mm-hmm.
our true inner being.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
we need to constantly be accountable and aware of what state of mind that we're in.
Mm-hmm. What state of mind, and the state of mind means energy. What type of energy are we in? What type of frequency are we in? What type of vibration we're in? Because that's what energy, frequency, and vibration is what we are. This is just an avatar. This is an avatar, but we have to have something on the inside that you get cut, it develops a scab. When you sleep, it keeps your heart beating, it keeps the blood flowing. You know what I'm saying? That's the spirit that's the spirit within us that keeps us moving forward. And when it comes to being a slave, we gotta look at the 14th Amendment that is saying that if we're born here, we're naturally free. That if either you're a free man, either you're a free person or you're a slave. We can't be both. So if we gonna be free, it got to start with internally, free from lower vibration thinking, free ourselves from self judgment without the proper knowledge of what's going on. Because we can judge ourselves, we need to have the proper knowledge. Releasing any type of doubt or any type of thing that's going to contribute to us having low self esteem. When we kind of deal with those situations on that level, we're no longer a slave to ourselves. And once we release the encode, the change we have in ourselves are invisible.
Mm.
Once we go to the and that once again it goes back to the subconscious level, because the subconscious level and the super subconscious level, that what thing percolate at. We become conscious of that one thing. We need to be go to the unconscious, the subconscious, where that's the source of it. So doing that allows us to get to the source of it. When we do the source, we can reprogram from there, and now it has a different output because we changed the input
Now,
to
how
it.
do we go about doing that? From the basic form, what do we do to try and get to that point?
Okay, perfect question. The first thing is we got to recognize it's a point that need to be gotten to. The second thing I recognize that we can't do it from a conscious level. We got to go to it from a subconscious and a super subconscious level. Meaning now, as I'm meditating, I'm reprogramming myself. Or if I feel myself kind of getting sleepy in that drowsy phase, that means my subconscious mind going to sleep. It's a good time to reprogram yourself. So that's why before you go to bed, it's a good time to see yourself how you want to be. And whatever old programming come up,
Mm.
you want to release that and release it and replace it. It might be low. Well, you can't do this right here. You know what? I can do this right here. Or I am whole. Or I am abundance. Because a lot of times we have a lack mentality. We have a slave mentality.
Mm.
So at least a slave mentality. A slave come from lack. They need to focus on abundance. Well, every night if I go to sleep, I focus on abundance. I have abundance. I have enough. I have abundance. I have enough. If I keep doing that, it's like, man, like, you know what? This got to be true because he keeps saying that he's abundant. He's not saying that he's a slave. He's lacking. He's saying he's abundant. Now he's thinking up like God. He's not thinking down on himself. He's thinking up on himself like God. He's
Mm-hmm.
not talking down to himself. But when we start doing that, now we change our magnetic force. Now we change our vibration. Now we change our frequency. Now we're wiring our DNA based on heartfelt emotions.
Mm.
So
I like that.
it's very purposeful when we're doing what we're doing. You
Okay.
follow me? Huh. Anything else want to add to that, my brother? I know you said you want to be able to let people understand what we're saying and not just brush over different topics.
Yeah, I
Do you
mean,
think we got all the nectar out this on? Do you think it's a little more in the corner somewhere?
no, we pretty much hit everything that we were supposed to hit.
Okay. Okay.
And like I said, that's why we leave the comments open for anybody that want to share or anybody got any questions. You know, I'm not a I'm not I'm not a genius. So
Yes, you are.
this is stuff that we do. I mean,
You
my thing
definitely
is
are a
like this.
genius. You definitely are a genius.
We go through
Well,
things.
what make you think you're not a genius though? How you? We just got to talk about not judging yourself. You can't red out and volunteer. I ain't a genius. You are a genius.
Well,
A genius is anybody that's an expert in their field.
well, I'm an expert in me,
Oh, good.
definitely.
That make you a genius then. So don't take yourself off the starting block
Right,
or the
right,
number one
right.
block because yeah, you're a genius, bro. Not based on tests.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, not based on tests.
And
On the melanated side, brother.
there we go.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
see, what it is that we all deal with this.
Of
I
course.
deal with it. He deals with it. You
Yes,
deal with it.
yeah.
And
We
one
all
thing we
deal
don't
with
do,
it.
we don't talk about it. And this is why we have this platform where we're able to express ourselves, we're able to release
Mm-hmm.
and get some of this stuff out and speak
Mm-hmm.
on it and
Mm-hmm.
learn how to really just open up and be open, be
Yeah.
vulnerable,
Yeah.
and let everything out on the table.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to be an open book,
Yes. Yes.
because
Yeah.
if not, like I said, what they say, a closed mouth do
No,
not
not
get
get
fed.
fed.
So hey,
Period.
but that's why we're here, and this is one of the basic platforms what we're trying to do.
Mm. And when you close your mind, you will not be fine. You cut yourself off from the divine. You feel me? And now you're trying to wonder why stuff end up where it is because you don't close your mind and caught the behind
Absolutely.
behind the mind. Cut off the divine. Meaning just like if you cut your power off, we do the same thing when we want to say I got it or we don't want to talk about it. Now your mind is full of shit.
Yeah.
Shit. You know what I'm saying? Your spirit off. Your heightened intuition is off. Your intelligence is off and your timing is off. That's your shit. It's off. Because you know why? We mindful. We want to be mind free so we can be aware of what's going on. I don't knock the word for mindful, but saying for me, I want to be mind free so not so much easier for me to be aware. Anything else you want to add to that? So another question we came up with: how to maintain spiritual centeredness in everyday life. Now the monks they got it easy. They kind of denounce their whole family. They go to this nice property and
Hmm.
they just do one thing. They just meditate, do their chores. I'm not saying I knock it, but it's a lot easier when you denounce your earthly responsibilities and then you just go do that. Now us as a householder, we do the same thing a monk do, but with worldly responsibilities. Work, dropping kids off, picking them up from daycare, school, whatever it may be. So it's more admirable if you're still being doing your housely chore, you're a wife, husband, single father, single mother, or just by yourself, and you're still working on your spirituality. Hmm. Namaste. Namaste means the God in me see the God in you.
Namaste.
Namaste. The God in me see the God is in you. So if you're able to do that and release that, it's a lot easier for you to accept yourself for what you're doing and maintain a spiritual centeredness. We use the word centeredness and not balance because when stuff is rocking and it's moving, it might not be balanced, but it's nice and centered.
Hmm.
So now when it's centered, it has an even flow. We love football. We don't have something called a balance. We have something called a center. The center is where everything goes off of. So I'm looking at the football aspect. We don't have a balancer. We have a center.
Hmm.
And once we're centered, everything is balanced off the center. That's the center of alignment. When it comes to football, we're only in the second quarter. The game is not won at halftime.
No.
It's renegotiated, analyzing it, so now you can make the proper adjustment and go back out there for a third and fourth quarter. When you put this up, you know what that means. It's fourth quarter,
Yeah, it's
baby.
game time.
Now this is when it get crucial. Now we want to release the first and second half emotional wise. And now we want to become present now because the next play I can get a pick six and change the whole game around. Him being a D lineman come and get a sack, make a fumble, change the game around. If you're stuck in the past situation based on a play that you made in the past that was 5 seconds ago, right now you're a victim because it's about short term memory. How long are you gonna hold to that emotional response? The less we hold to that emotional response, the more we can the more we can be present. I appreciate Nikki because she had a comment about being mindful.
Mm-hmm.
I broke it down to her what she said. Like, you know what? That makes sense. I appreciate that. That showed that her heart and her mind is open. She's
All
not
right.
stuck on what it got to be. You're being flexible. That's another part of being feminine. We're not so when you're being feminine, you're not so flexible and you're not so stern. And it has to be this way right here. When you're being very masculine, it's very boxy. It has to be this way right here. If it's not that way, everything outside there is incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to be on that. So for me to help maintain my spiritual centeredness is allowing life to show up how life shows up, but preparing myself to show up to life the way I want to show up, the way I want to be. I want to be centered. I want to be whole. I want to feel abundant. I don't want to feel no type of lack. And I want to feel bliss. So now whatever happens, it's not gonna overpower me.
All right.
I'm gonna have myself fortified with my suit of spirituality on
And see, yeah,
and bouncing off
that's
me
a
because
good point you
I'm
just
cool.
made.
I'm fortifying
We
myself.
we we're basically getting ourselves equipped,
Mm-hmm.
and instead of some people, we wake up and we're in this funk, and what they say, you woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Sometimes you
Right.
just look at it like, okay, I've equipped myself with all the tools
Mm-hmm.
that I can deal with any situation that I
Mm-hmm.
go through on a daily basis. And when we do that and we recognize, okay, everything's not going to be peaches and cream, So
Fact.
when a situation comes that's in a negative vibration or a
Mm-hmm.
lower vibration,
Mm-hmm.
we know how to handle it
Mm-hmm.
because we already equipped ourselves with all the tools that we need. 'Cause my
Mm-hmm.
grandfather always told me, can't work without no tools.
Mm-hmm.
So if we equip ourselves with everything that we need on a regular basis and continuously go back to that gas station, we got to put ourselves back on E. I mean, back on full
Mm-hmm.
spiritually, because a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times we running on empty,
Mm-hmm.
and we got to get proper sleep. We got to get proper food, nutrition, proper
Mm-hmm.
exercise, and we got to be around the positive people in our lives.
Mm-hmm. You just said something. If we put our gas tank on F, that's faith. If we on E, we on emotions.
Mm,
We want to stay in faith. We don't want to be in our emotion. Cause emotion, you see where the emotions at?
yeah, it's a lower
See
vibration.
where the faith at? You can have when I tank on here, we feel some type of way. We on F.
Hmm.
That thing will get started toward E, like oh boy,
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
boy. And again, and when you close on E, a light come on. Now I don't red light before because my light came on.
oh yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm in my emotion, like, oh shit,
yeah.
I
You in
can't
fight
get
or
my
flight mode.
gas. Right, 1,000%. But when we are aware we're in fight or flight, in the middle of it, we can pause, get that breath. 3, 2, 1, 0. We count backward because it's not natural. And it helps me get in the present moment. When I started taking my psych meds, I asked the doctor, what are these meds for? He was like, it gives you a gap between your reaction and how you respond. I'm like, what?
Mm,
So I count 3, 2, 1, 0. 0 is completion. 0 is source. 0 is perfection. 0 is what breathes the life in our body. What has the prana? Because not just the air, it's the prana in the air that keeps us alive. Because you could be in somewhere that has something that's harmful to you and it can kill you in the air. You feel what I'm saying? So it's not just the air, it's the prana in the air that keeps us alive.
mm.
That's all we want to do. So why we want to breathe fast? I'm not letting the prana come in and soak in the orifices and every cell in my body. I'm getting rid of so fast. So now I'm gonna breathe nice and smooth. That's what Qigong teaches us. It's everywhere around like the fog would be. Nice. If we move through fog too fast, it moves. We move through it nice and smooth.
Right.
Same way with energy. So we moving so fast, we cut through it. We want to actually absorb it. So by me learning how to sit still and absorb energy, because we are melanocytes. That's why I call melanated people. Our melanocytes are living is a living network that communicates with us. The Egyptians wrap themselves in mummies. They mummify themselves because the older you get, the more active your melanin comes. So as we get older, not close to death, but the older we get, the more active our melanocytes are, and the more stronger we become in the spiritual realm.
Mm.
So when we think about getting old, it's a beautiful thing. The older you become, the more your melanin network starts to activate. So if we're looking at age as a number, the older you are, the more active your melanocytes are. So get outside in the sun between the hours, I say 6 and 10 ish, because not too hot. Around 12 o'clock, that's the temperature the same way we were cooking a turkey between like 12, between like 1 or 12 ish and like 3 ish. Get out that sun because it's gonna eat you up and it's not gonna help you at all. Um, Mental illness is always a key topic. How does with all this stuff going on inside your head, this trying to be a hero, my emotional response, 'cause by us having mental health issues, my post concussion syndrome, it's so easy for us to get in an emotional response, and it's a lot easier for us to get out of. It's harder for us to get out of because we're having emotional issues. We're dealing with reality and dealing with low self esteem, dealing with fear. So anytime something like that comes up, how does your mental health help you or assist you in different situations when it comes to your emotional responses?
My mental health.
Yes, that's definitely to be figured in. That's definitely a seasoning in your recipe.
Well, one thing I like to revert back to is what I've learned and what I've been taught since being diagnosed with the mental illness that I have, being bipolar disorder. But
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I think about my therapy sessions. I think about everything that I've read.
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously, if you're on medication, you want to take that medication, you want to take it properly.
Mm-hmm.
But you take all of these things, and it, like I said, it creates a perfect storm
Mm-hmm.
on how to resolve situations, how to heal through situations.
Mm-hmm.
Which made a good is another question. Well, another comment. And I was talking to my brother about it yesterday, and I said, "Man, you need to go to therapy."
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "I know." And again, it's one of those things where sometimes you need to just tell people, look, there's nothing wrong with going to therapy,
At
because
all.
I need to call these people, and I need to get me another therapist, because I need to actively be working on me.
Mm-hmm.
And going to therapy actually helps you become a better you, you know, and that's how you one of the stages in being your own hero, being your own savior,
Mm-hmm.
is you don't have to wait for somebody to tell you to do
You know
something
what you need.
that's going to better you. You
Yeah.
take the
Yeah.
responsibility and be accountable for healing you, for
Mm-hmm.
building you up,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know, and when you do that, then you can build bridges, you know.
Yeah.
Once you, because I mean, everybody is so quick to be negative, to be just so we get in that blah state, you know, we don't give a
Mm-hmm.
fuck, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, everybody mad, and we walk around with our emotions on our sleeve and all. And again, it benefits no one. So
Mm-hmm.
just again, be conscious and be mindful of taking care of you,
Mm-hmm.
being the best you that you can possibly be. We don't always do the things that we should, but when we're aware of it and it comes across, and that thought comes across in our mind, what we need to do, especially when it benefits us, take care of it. Take heed to that and
Mm-hmm.
spearhead it, man. Just go
Mm-hmm.
ahead and do what you got to do to help better yourself.
I couldn't have said that better. I can just give you an analogy. Are we watering the weeds in our life, or are we watering the flowers in our life? The weeds are the thoughts that's going to make us have low self-esteem. That's going to be based on fear. That's going to be based on lack. Flowers are the stuff that's going to make me have joy. That's going to empower me. That's going to push me forward and say, you know what? I can do this because I'm not doing it alone. My spirit team has my back. So I'm going to ask you this question. Are you watering your weeds? Are you watering your flowers? And only you know. So if you water your flowers, you know what you're going to get.
Hmm.
If you water your weeds, you know what you're going to get.
Absolutely.
So I call you a god of goddess because you are creating your own reality right now. So take some time to do some self reflection and look at the direction of your life. And if it's not going in the direction that you want it, you are the cause of that. Either because you're playing the victim and not own up to your shit, you're not owning up to your shit and you playing the victim. Either one. Either way you playing the victim. Yes, I know stuff happened to you, but we can't stay in that rut of playing the victim. This happened, that happened. You're gonna become a magnet of more victimhood. You don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta take responsibility for your part. Yes, this happens. What can I learn from this and how can I grow from that? Now you become the victor over the victim situation, and now you can move forward. Anything you want to say before we get out of here, my brother?
No, that's it. I mean, we pretty much, I think we touched on a lot of things today that
Mm-hmm.
our listeners and our viewers really wanted to hear us say.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, we just really want to continue to be mindful of our situations, mindful of what we're doing, our behavior, our mental health, and try and stay in a higher vibration spiritually.
Mm-hmm. 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 We did had a comment off your live said, so they can learn and so they can heal. So this isn't this we having a very high vibration conversation here.
Uh,
This ain't for people who just want some entertainment. This for people who want to be free spiritually, physically, and emotionally. If you want that, we got that. Namaste Thug, Professor Q, doing what we do. Until next time, peace.
Peace.